Reading from my book, Lilac Time at the Rodeo, Stories of Identity, AIDS, and Fashion. Halston, Corporate, 1973 to 1984. Halston is not remembered for his glamorous persona now, though. He is only remembered for Cardinal Sin of New York making a bad deal. And what a bad deal. Oof. Andy Warhol, in his notorious, albeit interminable, diaries, mused about what went wrong with Halston's license and marketing agreements and how he himself could avoid the same fate. As Halston himself stated, it became a different world from what it was when I started. By the end, you almost had to be a lawyer or an accountant to survive as a designer. Just one word in a contract can change everything, and it did for me. Here's the deal. In 1973, David Mahoney of Norton Simon bought everything associated with the Ascendant Atelier of Halston, including the rights to this newly famous name, forever. Henceforth, Halston would be branded on furniture, car interiors, carpets, shoes, 2 men's fragrances, an entire cosmetics line, luggage, carpets, sheets, bags, gloves, sunglasses. Halston felt that he had to individually design everything that was being licensed. If it had his name on it, it was his. This would be his downfall. Thus, what Halston is forever remembered for is the associated perils of licensing. However, it must be noted that the bad deal worked amazingly well for a very long time. Without it, Halston may well have stayed put in his walk-up on Madison Avenue. The corporate collaboration paid for the soaring, mirrored Olympic Tower showroom that overlooked St. Patrick's Cathedral. The legendary townhouse that Halston designed and lived in. The beachfront getaway in Montauk. All of the accoutrements of luxe, which for Halston also involved a colossal volume of orchids and many lavish, expensive parties. The deal also paid for what must be the loveliest, most expensive workroom in the history of fashion. Production samples and Halston originals were not farmed out to contractors in New Jersey. No, sir. The workroom was set up right there in Olympic Tower as well, and a beautiful view was provided for the behind-the-scenes workforce. That definitely is not common practice in fashion manufacturing, then and now. For with fashion ateliers, akin to restaurants, the design and presentation of the customer-facing aspects of the business versus the preparation spaces are very different, to the detriment of the latter. From Maxime's to Le Cirque, velvet drapes and plush banquettes quickly give way to stainless steel and plastic tubs of assorted ingredients once you push through those swinging doors into the kitchen. Not so at Halston's. Apparently, the craftspeople employed by Halston wept when they first saw the Olympic Tower space where they were to practice their craft. The fact that he included them this way speaks to the profound depth of understanding and care, love, Halston felt for his employees. JCPenney was what caused this glittering kingdom in the sky to come crashing down. In 1982, a $1 billion 5-year deal with the popular department store mega chain was signed by Halston. Halston 3 was to be the third phase in the ascendant arc of his success. First the millinery, then the haute couture fashion house, and finally the lucrative volume afforded through selling all across America. It was the largest fashion deal that had ever been made at that time. and it was Halston's gateway to the high-volume mass profits that can only be accessed through mass market offerings. However, after the autumn of 1983, everything started to ravel and fray at the edges. This is a reading from my book, Lilac Time at the Rodeo, Stories of Identity, AIDS, and Fashion. My name is Dr. Mark Joseph O'Connell.